Welcome back. Thanks for returning. I realise I've been away for a best part of a month. Most of that month I've had a stinking cold, and also I've been doing other things like fixing my son's Fiesta, doing some work on an MX-5, and also retiling a kitchen, which seemed to take forever and a day. Add that to not feeling very well. Things took a long time, but we're back. And what I tried to do initially is to go through using some of the homemade evaporust alternative. Worked really well on bolts and things. Shown this before. Went from rusty to looking reasonable. I also saw one where they used corn starch or corn flour to thicken up the rust eater, as it were, and make it into like a bit more like a wallpaper paste or a paint stripper kind of consistency, and then covering it with cling film. So this next section I'll show you mixing up the chemicals and making the paste, and then applying it to the rear subframe, or rear suspension I should say, leaving it overnight, see what it's like, and maybe doing some more, etc. But that's just the something I wanted to put out initially, and as soon as we've got that over and done with, I can then get back to putting the car back together and painting the underside here with some black epoxy. So that's where we are. Thank you for returning. Sorry I had a big gap, but certainly I am back on the case now. Okay, so I'm going to make up some rust remover, a bit like evaporust. I'm using a recipe from a YouTuber called GDS Go Do Stuff. I'll put a link below. But effectively I'm trying to make more of a gel rather than a liquid, because obviously if you've got if you wanted to, this saucepan here, if you wanted to use evaporust on the whole of that, you'd need a big bucket to put it in. But if you've got a gel, you can paste it on and then maybe use cling film or saran wrap for our US friends. You could use that to just smear it over a bit like you would with paint stripper. So hopefully we're going to make this up. We're going to use I've put a litre of water in there and it's warming up at the moment. I'm going to use 63 grams of baking soda, and I'm going to use 100 grams of citric acid, and I'm going to put a little bit of fairy liquid in type stuff, soap, dishwasher stuff. So that's it really. I'll come back once this is warmed up. Okay, so I've got some cold water and some corn flour in here, just like you would if you were going to mix up, thickened gravy in effect. Not sure if there's enough, because it said 5 tablespoons and I've probably only put 3 in here, but maybe we'll put a little bit more in. So constantly stirring it. The reason for mixing it up like this is, you can pour the liquid in and it won't go immediately lumpy. If you just put the powder in, it could well go solid straight away, or lumpy, and that's what you don't want. Yeah, see, it's not far off boiling. I seem to want to cook much more than this. I'm going to put a saucepan lid on it, or a cover on it, because it obviously cooks better than that, but I think I'm running out of gas. I think that's as good as it's going to get with this setup, so I'm going to mix it in now. think me running out of gas isn't helping. I'll bring you back in a sec. Certainly getting thicker. Keep putting the lid on to help the heating. I've made up some more just in case. Some more corn flour. If it doesn't thick up anymore, we'll mix that in. I think the 5 tablespoons is probably pretty close. Let's put that in. That's the sort of gloopiness that we've achieved so far. So I'll let that boil for a few minutes and then bring you back. Okay, so we've turned it off, we're letting it cool down. I have added just a bit of fairy liquid in there just to, because I forgot to do that earlier, mixed it in again. So I'm basically going to let it cool down and then I'm going to put it in a jam jar type thing. I have grab one of these great big jars, put it in there, and then we'll put some on the rear subframe, or part of the rear subframe, and see how it works. So there you go. Got a jar full of goopy rust remover. Still quite warm. So we'll have to let that cool down and then we'll try it. Okay, so here's my jar of goop that I made yesterday. I'm just going to put some on here. You can see it's just totally, untouched. Basically, without doing anything, I'm just going to put some on here, put some cling film on it, and leave it for a little while and see how it comes out. Okay, so I just put a mat under here, and I'm going to glue this stuff on and see how it works. I know you can't see this side, but I'll show you the after results. The only thing I'm concerned with this is how do I stop it. I'm probably going to have to wheel it outside and wash it off, but we'll see how it goes. Now what we need to do is put some cling film on it. Easier said than done. Just to stop it drying out. Okay. So here we are the next day, pretty much 24 hours later. Let's see what it looks like. You can see it's sort of gone yellow rather than the whiter colour it was yesterday. Okay, see what it looks like. underneath. Let's try and wipe it off, see what happens. Well, that doesn't look a lot different to me, I suppose. I don't know what that white stuff is. Don't know, hard to say. I'm certainly not going, oh wow. I think putting it in the liquid is certainly better. Yeah, obviously messy. Would have hoped it done better on there. Yeah, 24 hours. It's definitely done something, but whether it's enough, I mean, I'm probably going to have to wash this now, and then yeah, wash it and still, you know, brush it off, or wire brush or something like that. Yeah, not particularly impressed with that. It was worth a go though. I know I am impressed with the liquid version. This just doesn't seem to be quite the same. What we might do is put a little bit more on and leave it till tomorrow. Let me show you what it looks like up here. As you can see, there is definitely some yeah, you can see clear metal here, so it is working. Yeah, it is working. I just think maybe we'll put on some more and try again. Okay, this is after 48 hours. I have taken it outside and washed it off. This side here did have cling film on it, the other side did not. And the same up here with this. This had cling film on it, and the other side did not. So, you know, you can see like just a couple of shiny bits here and here, whereas on this side there's a fair few shiny bits there. So it does work. I think it's slower using the gel rather than, you know, submerging it in the liquid. But you know, you can't, you know, I can't surge, you know, I can't put that great big long piece of metal in a tank. I'd have to have a tank that's 4 foot long and, you know, 3 inches deep and make up 15-20 litres of liquid. So that's not going to happen. So I will continue with this. I won't use I won't use any more of the goopy stuff. I'll just go back to the tried and tested wire brush and a drill. So yeah, it's been outside, it's been washed, you know, it's rained. You can see it's still a bit damp in places. So yeah, I'll clean it all up and then get it ready for painting. So I took it outside, washed it all off. Since then I've been using like wire brushes in a drill, that kind of tool. And then finally I've put some rust converter on it, just a few moments ago. So yeah, that's the worst of it cleaned up and somewhat protected. At the same time, I decided I would clean up these two cross braces, rub them down, use sandpaper, you know, wire brushes, various different tools, but sandpaper seemed the most effective on this. And then again put some rust converter on it, so hopefully tomorrow we'll be ready to put some paint on it. Thanks for watching. That's about it for this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, which will be next week.